Time to turn around, I think. Oh, it's now 7:15. Oh, feels good to be out running again. This is my first run since Chester Marathon. Yeah, so if you've missed that, I ran Chester Half Marathon about 3 weeks ago, and I picked up an injury. So you've got a muscle. Hang on, I'll show you. There's a muscle on the outside here, and another one which is the outer side of the backside here, which drives your leg back and forward, and it's an overuse injury. Obviously when you're racing, you're stretching your pace a bit more, you're pushing harder. Thinking about it, I did have this last time I ran a half marathon just before the lockdown, and I had a bit of a pain afterwards. But unfortunately, because I'd got the marathon straight after, 2 weeks after the half marathon, it hadn't recovered, and so unfortunately I had to pull out of the marathon at mile 18. So yeah, it has made me stop to let it recover. It's a weird feeling after the marathon. So normally after running a long race, I get DOMS, delayed onset muscle spasms. So the following day you feel fine, and then the day after you can't move. But this time, because I'd not been able to push, because from quite early on in the race it had been hurting, I was completely fine, apart from this pain in my backside, down the back of my leg. So I've had a complete rest this week, and it's now time to get moving again. I have still got a little bit of discomfort, but I need to run. So it has made me stop and think about what's important to me. So I need to run. It's not I need it. It keeps me sane. So the key things for me about running is it keeps me sane, keeps my stress levels down, and it allows me to get out into the countryside like that. This is what is the most important part of running for me. Now, as I get older, I'm in my 50s now, so I believe that's the age at which your testosterone levels start to drop off, and then you get muscle wastage. So we all say we should do strength training, but how many of us actually go and do it? And of course, if you're just doing one type of sport like running, whatever your sport is, you focuses on one set of muscles, and you don't necessarily get all the muscles firing. So I need to put some strength work into my week. So I'm from here henceforth, there's going to be at least one or probably two strength workouts a week where I'll be doing, so I should be doing some squats, I should be doing some lunges, just to help maintain and build muscle mass. So particularly in this, because that injury I have there, if that could get worse, you could end up with an IT band injury where you get pain all the way down the leg and into the knee. But the source of it is that gluteus minimus or whatever it's called. Right, so what else have we got to talk about this morning? Yeah, so for the next 3 or 4 weeks I'll be doing low mileage, so getting out. But so I'm afraid the running videos, the weekly running videos, will be a bit shorter than normal, which is annoying really, because I did have plans for some longer stuff coming into the autumn now. So right, so what are the plans for the autumn? Well, right, so for YouTube, there's a load of stuff already filmed that you don't know about yet, that Patreon already do. So let's just quickly think through what I've got coming up. So next week I filmed another parkrun route, the Congleton parkrun route round the mere. I filmed that on a beautiful day. That was a lovely video. Also next week, the ROACHES at dawn. Back at the end of August, I got there in the dark and ran up to the top, and above the clouds, it was beautiful. So that's coming up next week. And the week after, what else have we got? Another parkrun route, Northwich Parkrun route. And then, another beautiful one. I ran from Daresbury, the birthplace of what's his name? The chap who wrote Alice in Wonderland, who was born there and drew inspiration from the area, Lewis Carroll. Of course, that's not his real name, is it? That was his writing name. But that's a lovely one. So I started from there and ran into Halton and up to Halton Castle. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. Hope you do too. Then where else? There's more. There's at least one more. I've done so many now, you know. you get mixed up. Where did I go? It'll come back to me in a minute. Let's carry on. So you've got all those to look forward to, and Patreon. So this week, it has been on the list for a while, but it's now been bumped to the top of the list. When I ran the marathon, we ran through Halton Farndon, and it was absolutely stunningly beautiful there. So I've scoped out a lovely route right on the England-Wales border, on the River Dee, taking in the river and Holt Castle. Oh yes, it's come back to me. The other video the YouTube have got to look forward to is Eccleston, which is also on the Chester Marathon route. Oh, that was beautiful. Again, running beside the River Dee. Sorry. So Patreon, you've got that to look forward to this week. I don't know beyond that. I'll have to think a bit more and come up with some shorter routes for the next few weeks. Beyond that, I would like to do some longer trails. And so what I sort of have in mind is having an overnighter where I stay in a bed and breakfast or something. Could camp, but it's starting to get a little bit cool. So camping, maybe, depends on the weather. And taking some longer trails. So, do a 10-mile run in the morning, break, sit and have my lunch, another 10-mile run in the afternoon, stay over, do the same the next day, which will allow me, and maybe 3 days, which will allow me to cover some longer trails and do some fun stuff. I've got some ideas. I mean, obviously we've got long distance paths around here, like the Gritstone Trail, which I haven't really touched, and further afield there are some lovely circular ones I've got in mind. There's around the Clym Peninsula, I'd love to do that. So these are things that hopefully we'll get before winter sets in. I had hoped to get up to Scotland, but it's probably going to be too late now. the weather will have closed in by the time my legs healed enough to safely do it. So yes, so anyway, back to running. The most important thing for me is to get out in the countryside and to keep running. So I'm 50 now, and I want to still be running when I'm 75. I'm seriously, I want to still be running when I'm 75. And to do that, I need to maintain my muscle mass. I need to maintain my cardiovascular fitness, which requires me to do regular volume of low intensity training to keep that huge base that I have. So I need to do strength work, I need to run regularly, and I need to avoid injury at all costs. So I will be doing some more races. I will definitely be doing a marathon next year. I've currently got my name in for as always, got to be in it to win it. I've got my name in the ballot for the London Marathon, though I don't hold out much hope. It's 100 to 1 shot, I think. But I'll either be doing that or I'll be doing Chester. Other races, I'm doing the Chester 10k, although I'm not racing. I have a friend who's just started running, and so I suggested we run a 10k race to keep him focused. So I'll be running that along with him, so perhaps we'll film that if he's agreeable. Right, anyway, I'm going to get going because I've got it's 7:26 and I've got to be at Wetherspoons for 8 o'clock, so I better get going. I'll see you all soon. Take care, and I hope you're enjoying the content. If you've got any special requests, anywhere you'd like me to go or anything you'd like to see, please reach out. I'd be interested to know. Take care. See you all soon.